Alright, here we go. Welcome back to I've Been Killing Slimes for 300 Years. Anime Review, episode number 7. Yeah, it's been 3 years since I did the last episode review of this one, and now it's back. The anime itself is first time airing, first time in 4 years. Excuse me. Look how I heard about this one for quite a while. So, I kind of expect to come back, and this was a good episode. I did enjoy this one. So, it starts out with pretty much a recap of the first season of the show. Given the fact it's been 4 years, I guess some people may have forgotten the fact that what happened in the first season, despite the fact that people have access to Crunchyroll. If I can tell, the recap did a really good job recapping all that's happened in the first season. And then we cut to present day, where we see everybody waking up after basically a long night of sleep. And of course, basically, Tana the Blue Dragon. For T, yes. Basically, you have the main character, Aizawa. You have her. Luca, who's a dragon. Fafa and Sasha, the twin daughters of the lead character. You have Hakura, an elf girl. You have Rosalie, who's a ghost girl. And that's it. That's all you have here. So basically, they'll wake up, and then of course, take a while. Of course, has some omelet with some ketchup on it. And of course, basically, Luca basically got some onion to it. Almost looked like they're making versions like French toast or like grilled cheese, whatever. So then, of course, they go out and basically get some beans, make some snacks for the girls. Which after they take some tries, they do basically succeed. The girls love it. It's like mochi balls with like red beans. And then, there is basically like an energy bottle that girl who's also an elf, who's, I think this will be Azawa's apprentice. So, the goddess basically, the symbol basically, she's going to be there. And then as soon as basically Azawa sees the goddess, Meg, it's the goddess of reincarnated back in episode 1. Now, in case you're curious though, this is only the second anime I've ever come across. You're like, what about Konosuba? Well, she went with him basically in the first episode. That doesn't count. But the only anime I've ever seen this happen with, where the lead character meets up with the goddess who reincarnated them at the start of the show, was Two to Witch Moon to Fantasy. That was the last one I saw did this. And it's like, at first, kind of, and then remembered who she is, and she came down from heaven, came out from the god plane to basically being virtue, whatever. And then as soon as basically Azawa meets with her later on, it's like, I like to get to live here. No, that's no problem. So it turns out that she's not been sent down by the gods; she was demoted because she kept reincarnating as girls. Yep, and because she's got fondness for women. Makes you think that could explain why almost the whole cast is basically a group of women. Excuse me. Afterwards, basically, Shutsu basically is very happy being a goddess too, which I thought was kind of cute. And of course, they go home, and of course, they have this funny thing of every mochi, and they had this funny little exchange between Azawa and the goddess, where it's like, I like a favor, yes. I like when I make my chest bigger. No. Yes, at least she asked. But interesting episode. Nice, good slice of life, this one. Yeah, I did not expect to do this again. I didn't say I hated the first season per se. Just that I only got into this series because it's a slime-based series. A series features slimes, and the fact that I bought the first 2 volumes I bought the first volume at Comic-Con. Yes, the only time I bought a light novel at Comic-Con. Because I have tried my damnedest to find light novels at Comic-Cons. And a lot of the time, basically, the booth, like the C, is usually just not there. You just can't find it. Over the years, I've tried to find this one specific booth where it says, anime, manga, anime, and light novels. And a lot of the time, I can't find any of these booths. Either they forget to bring them, or they're just simply not there. Hopefully when I go to Shogi Expo in September, they actually have a booth that sells manga, because that was the problem I had last time. Like, they're called Anime Expo, yet they sold no anime DVDs, no manga, no light novels. It's like, what did we see there? What did I see there? Prints, shirts that look very offensive to wear, 2 booths of Funkos, Bailey figures. Like, it wasn't a lot there. Maybe because it was first day. Yep. But yeah, that's pretty much a particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. I will see you all later, because I'm going to be going to Barnes & Noble for a bit, and then I'll be back to talk about, well, I'll talk a little bit about ToQger, because I'm finally going to get back to watching this one. Okay, thanks for you. Bye.